Should we get started, Hanli?
Yeah, I think so. I think people can still join because we're just going to be introducing ourselves a little bit and speaking about what we're going to be doing. So I'm very, very happy that you are all here to join us today. I believe that some of you know Sunam. I don't think I know almost any of you. So I'll tell you a little bit about ourselves in a minute or two. But welcome, and we're happy to have you here. The idea about this course came about for creating a space in which beginners can start to do some meditation and understand the basic practices of it in a very solid foundation. But we also acknowledge that there are people who might want to start again, because it's very natural that in our lives things happen and then a habit falls off and we might not be able to quite get back into the routines again. And even if you are in a great routine at the moment with your meditation, it's always fun to do it with a group of people. So whichever one you are of those people, we're very happy to have you here, and we hope that you will get something from each of the weeks that we're going to go through in the next 8 weeks. For me, the very important thing is that Sunam is here, and she is going to be making sure that we are following meditation according to a very old and authentic system, because as you know, there's lots of information out there in the media about meditation. Some of it is good, and it's good that people are aware of it, but we very much want to bring it back to the root of that authentic system, and that's what you're going to be getting from these weekly lessons or weekly sessions that we're going to be having. As I say, it's going to be 8 weeks, and the time that you will have to commit to this is probably 10 to 15 minutes a day, maybe a little bit more. And we're going to help you with that by giving you some guided meditations and some tips and tricks that you can take with you through those weeks to keep you on track. I'm sure that as we're going to go through today, towards the end, you'll have lots of questions to ask. So please feel free to jot those down, and when we get towards the end, we'll create a Q&A space where you could either ask the questions, or if you don't want to ask them in this forum, just pop them in the chat. But you're also welcome to send them to us afterwards if you feel a little bit shy or you don't want to do it in this particular forum. So there will be an opportunity for you to ask your questions, and we'll answer them as best we can. And one last thing I want to just mention is that please begin to plan your week, and we'll talk about action items towards the end as well, to make sure that you can set aside some time, because we are going to give you some homework. So with that, I'm going to hand over to Sunam, and she will take it on to the next step.
Thank you, Hanli. The first thing I just want to show you is what are the topics we will cover in the next 8 weeks. And one of the most important things we cover today is what is meditation and what is meditation not. And also the benefits of meditation. That's our pitch for you. Why to do a regular meditation? What are the benefits you get if you implement a regular meditation? In the next classes, then, we talk about meditation as a practice. What does it include that meditation is a practice? Then we talk about the different stages of meditation, so that you can really also measure at which point in your meditation practice are you in the moment. Even I see a lot of really people here joining who are meditating, I think, since years, and maybe you ask yourself, or you have yourself the impression, I'm not getting anywhere, I'm stuck somewhere. So this also helps you to decide at which stage are you and which methods help you to deepen your meditation. Then we talk about the external and the internal conditions, which simply help you to have a good meditation, the correct posture, which is also very important, because where the energy flows, your mind is going, and you can have a better meditation if you really have the correct posture. Then about the 5 problems you experience and the 8 remedies against it. And then, which is very important in our lineage, about the different types of meditations and what is your meditation object, what you are meditating on. And one of the big questions, how often should I meditate and how long? I just want to introduce as well, this beautiful picture is Nicole, our hospitality manager at Diamond Mountain, and she is a perfect meditator, and you can also see the perfect meditation posture. So which meditations are we teaching in the next 8 weeks? The first one is preparing for meditation, the perfect 10 we learned today. Then a meditation which is called Watch Your Thoughts, and it means don't get involved in your thoughts. And that is a very essential practice for meditation, where you can learn a lot of basic skills you need to become a good meditator. And then we want also include Tonglen, which is the all-time favorite Buddhist meditation to develop compassion and love. And the traditional preliminaries, which I call taking care of your karma, because in this preliminaries, you just go through all the steps to accumulate a lot of good karma, to have a good meditation and to have a good life and take care of your bad karma. But first of all, I would like to introduce Han Li. She is starting August 3rd being co-director in Diamond Mountain. Han Li, would you talk a little bit? Who are you?
Yes, and I'm very, very excited about that. Thank you. As you can hear, I have an accent. I'm from South Africa, and I came to the United States, where I am now in Arizona, about 6 years ago. My background is I'm a social scientist, and so I've always been very excited about trying to find out more about meditation and behavior and habits in general. And so I've spent the last 6 years researching the value of meditation, both for yourself as an individual, for a team, if you work in a team, and even for your company, and how that would impact that. As for Buddhism, I've been practicing Buddhist practices for the last 20 years. And one of the lineages that I'm constantly in love with is this lineage, because I really think it's underpinned by the most amazing work that's being done. And I really appreciate the fact that we have such great access to the lineage and the real information and where that comes from. So that's a little bit about me. I'm sure you'll learn more about me as we go on through the next 8 weeks. Sorry, and I do have someone in the chat here. Laura's asking if there will be a recording of the class. Yes, there will be.
So the big question is, why meditate? Meditation is opening up how you see life and what you experience in life. If you're not meditating, it's like you're living in a closed room, like in a prison all the time, and you don't even know that you are in a closed room and that there is something else behind it. It's looking behind the walls in a lot of different aspects if you meditate regularly. And even if you only have a 5 to 10 minute practice every day, these walls will disappear and you will be able to look behind the walls. And it opens up how you experience life, how you experience other people, and how you drive your life. So Li is talking a little bit more about the different aspects you can discover when you meditate and open up these shades and look behind the wall.
So there's 3 distinct areas in which meditation will impact your life. The first is just your daily life. The most important thing is someone who meditates regularly, and that's very important, will gain the benefit of being able to focus better. And it's really important that today we're going to learn how to correctly meditate, because that will specifically link to this focused mind that you will gain from meditating. The next thing is solving problems. Because you are more focused and your mind is clearer and calmer, you will be able to broaden your mind and find more solutions to problems that you may have been looking at for days and days and days and wondering how you're going to solve that. So the meditation will create the environment in your mind that will allow for that problem solving to happen. The next thing is that you yourself will become a little bit calmer, and as a result of that, you will find that you will be more harmonious with other people. It will be easier to interact with people, especially when they might be a little bit difficult, or just challenge you a tiny bit. And so it'll help you manage and regulate your inner world so that you can experience more harmony in your life. And then, of course, one of the other things is that because your mind is calmer and clearer, and a lot of the things have fallen away that might have bothered you before, you will begin to be better at anticipating the future and knowing what's coming. And that's something that's really valuable to have in today's world. It's not that you'll be able to predict the future, but your intuition, your senses for the future will become a lot sharper and much more honed. And of course, who wouldn't want a peaceful mind and handling our stress better, right? And that's definitely something meditation from a physiological perspective will bring for you in your body, is how to handle stress, how to remain calm, and how to not give in to some of those feelings that sometimes build up in us when we are lacking in our meditative skills. The second thing, or the second area that's really important, is this inner world in which we experience ourselves every day. You know, it's like being a fish in a bowl of water, right? You're in this inner soup all the time, where all your feelings and your emotions and everything is coming up for you. And one of the benefits of meditation is it helps you to begin to eliminate some of those negative emotions that might pop up in our day-to-day lives and arise for you. So it's a tool that will help you manage those negative emotions, to the extent that it's going to become very difficult for people to actually upset you. So because you'll have this calm, you'll have this focused mind, and you'll know how to regulate yourself, your ability to not react to people, but rather respond to them, will increase substantially. And it will give you a whole different way of understanding and looking at the world. And that's one of the reasons why I still love this lineage, is because that's the additional piece that it gives you, rather than just the meditation itself. It gives you a framework or some lenses to look at the world in or through. The last part is that it gives you an opportunity to grow your spiritual life, to grow your love and compassion for other beings, to begin to move outside of yourself and really focus on other human beings. And that is really what we are here all for, is to make sure that we alleviate the sufferings of others and we keep on focusing outside of ourselves. It doesn't mean that we neglect ourselves or don't show ourselves the self-compassion, but it does allow us to shift our focus outside of ourselves to those around us. It will also help us to see some of our future lives more clearly, because as we use this framework that we're going to be given, we'll begin to understand how the world works, and how what we do and how we spend our time and how we interact with other human beings is going to plant the seeds for our future in this life and our future in other lives. It also allows us to think about cheating death, and how that is not something that is final, but it is something that gives us an opportunity to move through that into a very different way of looking at the world. Mm-hmm. So those are some of the benefits that we will get from meditation, and practicing meditation correctly and at the right frequency. And that's what you can expect to be getting from this course. Mm-hmm. But I think Sunam now has to talk a little bit about, we'd be talking about meditation like everyone knows exactly what it is, and we may all have our own definition. So she's going to talk more specifically about what we believe that is, meditation is.
When I talk about the definition of meditation, I'm clearly referencing to the lineage we are practicing in. So definition is that you train your mind to be in the middle, to have a balanced mind, not being sleepy, not being distracted. having a bright and alert mind. I think the English expression is bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Like a cat who is there with all their attention, nothing else. She is focusing on one thing and the rest of the world does not exist. And that is exactly the kind of mind and focus we want to develop in meditation. And on the other side, it's also the balance, have a focused mind, but not these tense mind. It should be a relaxed and focused mind at the same time. And I just speak from my own experience. When I started meditating, I developed these wrinkles on my forehead. And when I did one of my first long retreats, I was standing in the bathroom. I was looking at me and I thought, these wrinkles are new. And then I started laughing at myself after 20 seconds because I discovered that I was sitting on my cushion. I have a good meditation. I have a good meditation. And that is not the goal. That is not the goal. The goal is to have a relaxed and focused mind. Also be there in the balance. And I think everybody knows that being relaxed suddenly often goes to the side where we don't have any energy anymore or any focus. We are just, or we are too tense. And also in meditation, we learn to be there in the middle as well, focused and relaxed. And also in our lineage, we see meditation not as a goal in itself. Meditation is a tool we are using to train our mind, to train our heart, and to be able to proceed spiritually. And I would like to say a little bit about our lineage. So this one is Jetsun Kappa. He lived about 500 years ago. And he was the great reformer in Tibet, which was such an incredible mind. And also he revived the Lamrim tradition, how you can get enlightened. He stripped off all the unnecessary things which developed in all the time after Buddha and really made it very clear what is the essence and the philosophy. And then in the last century, one of the very important one was Pabonka Rinpoche. He was one of the first ones who really taught also to lay people. So that's why I call it, we are a rock and roll image. That's why I am here, because the lineage is really trying always to bring the ideas to the people with the language and the tools which are necessary at that time, that people understand the message. And he was really one of the first who taught lay people, not only in monasteries. The next one of his students is Trichang Rinpoche. He wrote down the famous teaching of Pabonka Rinpoche because he was his student. He wrote down the Lamrim. Everybody of you who attended the Lamrim teachings maybe have heard of him. And he, for example, used, draw the stages of meditation, this beautiful picture with the monkey and the elephant. So he was one of the first ones who used a picture to show the people what is the essence of the teaching. So like we are now doing Zoom and learning meditation or social media or whatever, he used a picture which was totally uncommon at that time. Then the next one in the direct lineage is Ken Rinpoche. He was the one who taught in New Jersey. And he was also the first who taught women, Diamond Way, which was totally uncommon at that time. and who had a very, very incredible ability to always find the examples of the time where people lived in. So he has really this incredible, and that's what I admire most in our lineage, that all of our teachers have this ability to relate to our life, the problems we have in our life, and illustrate the teaching with examples of modern life. And the most famous example for this is Geshe Michael Roach. And I hope that we can get in this big footprint and also give you in this course examples which you can relate to, which apply to the situations you are living in, that you can learn this beautiful meditation, which will get you to so many benefits Hanli already mentioned. Good. All this material for this course is taken from ACI Course 3, Applied Meditation, if you want to go deeper and read more. And we have already reached our first meditation for today. What I would like to do with you, I would like to do a 10-minute meditation with you. And each meditation has 3 parts. It includes the warm-up, which is some kind, you tell your mind, now I am meditating. It's like shifting gear. And we do this with 10 very focused breaths. And then after the warm-up, there is the meditation itself, the meditation object, the topic we are meditating on. And today we are using gratitude. Gratitude is a positive feeling or attitude in recognition of a material or immaterial gift that someone has received or will receive. That's the definition from Wikipedia, and it's perfect. So what we are doing today in our meditation, we pick a thing or a beloved one or somebody you know, and we just express our gratitude in our meditation to this person or to this thing. I would recommend start with a person you really like, a beloved one. That's much easier. And then at the end, we have a closing of the meditation, which we call the golden breath. And the golden breath, it's the closing of the meditation and has 2 parts. It's especially with the gratitude, you are giving and sending out all these positive feelings which have developed in your meditation to the world. And as well, you are dedicating the good seeds you have accumulated through meditating and give it away to everybody else. So maybe for today, like the gratitude, a good dedication would be, I give all my seeds away. May everybody in this world develop gratitude. And the picture here is a drop. In the old scriptures, it's compared with a grain of barley, but it's so hard to find a picture of a barley grain. So what it means that you go into your meditation with the warm-up. That's where your focus is getting deeper and deeper. Then you have the object of meditation where your focus is really good. And then you get out of meditation with the closing. So you get in, you have the deepest point, and you get out. And it depends in this short meditation we are doing now. I think the intro will be 1-2 minutes. Then we have about 7 minutes really meditation of object, and the closing will be quite short. If you are expanding your meditation time, you might consider to give each of this part 1/3 of the time. That's tradition that each part has 1/3. That's why it's compared with the barley grain. Go up, have the deepest point, and then go out. Okie dokie, get ready for meditation. We have a separate class for the meditation posture. Today, just sit upright. Maybe you're sitting on a chair, and also make sure that your feet are on the ground. And I'm looking for my phone because I wanted to set a timer.
Just wondering, Sunam, does anyone have any questions before we start? Because it's probably good not to carry the question with you into the meditation.
Good idea. Yeah, thank you, Hangi.
Looks like we're good.
Okay.
Let's see. So let's go.
Sit upright. If you're sitting on a chair, make sure your feet are touching the ground. Rest your hands on your thighs. And then park your concentration on the tip of your nose. And watch the breath coming in and out. Use all your senses. Maybe you can feel a temperature difference between in and out breath. Maybe you can feel how the tiny hairs in your nose are moving. And then we go on to the main meditation, gratitude. Pick one situation or one person and thank them in your mind. Say thank you for the big and the small things. Maybe if you have the feeling you can't think of anything else, just start over again. If your mind wanders off, just ask him very gently, oh, we wanted to concentrate on gratitude. And then imagine how the person smiles at you. Receiving gratitude is very beautiful. And then come back to your breath. Imagine that with every out breath, you're sending out golden light. And imagine that the gratitude you are sending out with this golden breath to the person, to your family, to all people in your city, to the world. And then next, dedicate the good seeds of this meditation. I give all these good seeds of this meditation away. May every living being develop gratitude and lead a happy life. And when ready, open your eyes and stretch. That was more or less exactly 10 minutes, which is already quite a good time to being focused. 10 minutes really being focused is a good achievement. So let's shortly summarize. Hanli, you're muted.
Sorry, I'm still in a meditative state. Great, thank you for that. So just remind you the topics that we're going to work our way through, and today we've already covered what meditation is and what it is not, and we spoke a little bit about the benefits of meditation. Of course, this session is being recorded, so if you wanted to go back and revisit that, it's all there for you to listen to again. But next week, we're going to move on to meditation as a practice, and then we're going to work our way through the stages of meditation, external and internal conditions. We're going to talk a bit about correct posture and why that's important, the 5 problems and the 8 remedies, the meditation types and objects, and then frequency and duration. So those are all the things that you can look forward to. Good. So now we have to talk a little bit about, we've done a little bit about preparing for meditation and the perfect 10, which is what we did today. Watching your thoughts, not getting involved. There will be much more of that happening. And then I'm going to ask Sunam to speak a little bit about the 2 lifelong basic traditional Buddhist meditations for any meditation, the Tonglen and the preliminaries, and give you a little bit more information about that. And then we are going to speak about homework, and then we'll have some question time. Okay, so the first thing to do is to make sure that you pick a time in the day. Now, there are 2 schools of thought. My school of thought is you pick the same time every day and you do it the same time every day. Sunam's thought is a little bit different. For her, it's, pick a time that's sort of a more or less time. Like when I'm making my cup of tea, I know the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do my meditation. So You figure out what works best for you. That's the most important thing. But pick something that's consistent. That's probably the important message here. And so whether that's in the morning, which is ideal, or in the evening, that's also okay. It doesn't matter. Just pick a time or an action that you do repeatedly and link your meditation to that action. Okay, it's called habit stacking. So you know every day you have to brush your teeth. If you know that after brushing my teeth comes meditation, it becomes a little cycle for you. So pick the time, very important. Then repeat what we did today, 5 to 10 minutes. Exactly the same steps we went through. Again, if you want to go back to the recording and remind yourself, that's totally fine as well. Use an alarm clock. And if you want to do the third, you can split it up in that way. Maybe do 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, however you would like to do that. Mm-hmm. And then go through those 10 breaths, do your gratitude meditation. And as Sunam said, if you're in that middle part where you're in the deep gratitude piece and you run out of things to be grateful for, just start again and pick a new person. Okay, and just keep on doing that until the time is up, and then finish by dedicating and doing the golden breath piece. So, and I'd like you to practice that. We would like you to practice that this week, every day.
You can also, with the alarm clock, just set it to your 5 or 10 minutes. What is your goal for the week? And when the alarm clock goes on, just finish up your gratitude and do your dedication and then stop.
Cool. Excellent. Thank you for that. So now I think it's a good time to ask any questions, unless there is something, Sunam, that you still want to share.
Yes, I remember when we talked about the benefits of meditation on the inside. What I discovered over time is with your negative emotions, that it's the perfect tool to look behind your negative emotions. And that's especially the meditation we learn next week on. And this helps you because suppressing your negative emotions is, in the long run, not a good habit. At one point, it will explode if you suppress your negative emotions. And so I think I would like to emphasize this, that if you do the meditation on your emotions, you are able to look behind your emotions and be able to remove them completely. Also with the knowledge of seed planting, how you can plant the seeds for different emotions. Mm-hmm. Then there is a question in the chat. Can we do gratitude meditation longer than 10 minutes? To be honest, no. Please put your meditation timer to the maximum 10 minutes. And when the timer goes on, finish up your meditation. And the idea behind this, we want to have a very, very focused meditation. And we also want that you have fun doing your meditation. So that's why we limit the amount, that you get hungry for more meditation and that you get off your cushion when you still have a good feeling about your meditation. So please stick to the 10 minutes.
Sunam, I have a question off the back of that. Does that mean that later I can't do more, or is it just now, just the 10?
Just for this week, please just stick to the 10. Later on, when you have the ability to notice when your focus decreases, when you're wandering off, what we discussed as one of the points that we learn to what are the problems in meditation. So when you have developed the skill to notice when your meditation is getting wrong during your session, then you can meditate longer, because then you can stop in the moment when you notice that it's really the focus is going down. Is that the correct expression? Yeah. Good. Hanli, would you like to take the next one?
Sure. The next one is, what if I'm a visual person and I have difficulties visualizing? How can I change this? one of the things that I have read about meditation and believe from the research is really important is, even if you can't visualize, with gratitude, the really important thing is that you feel that feeling. So if you can't visualize, just think about the person that you want to be grateful for, or the thing, and then focus on the feeling of gratitude and really connect with that, and maybe make that even bigger as you begin to feel it. So some people are more feeling orientated, some are more visual, some like music, some don't. So find the thing that you can work with that gives you that experience of the gratitude toward that person. Daniela, I hope that answers your question. And here's another one.
Yeah, you can even imagine, depending on what is your main sense, that you radiate some kind of gratitude to them, or depending, or maybe you send beautiful music if you are more the audio type. So pick how your gratitude can be expressed, and that can be any way. It does not need to be visual. Yeah.
We have another one about negative emotions being linked to gratitude, like making a comparison. And then another one about, are the 10 minutes included in 3 parts? Sinan, would you like to answer that one?
Yeah, the 10 minutes you can, I would recommend include the first 2 parts, the breath and the gratitude. And then when the alarm clock goes off after 10 minutes, finish up with the dedication. Or if you have one of these fancy meditation timers divided by 3, 10 divided by 3 is 3, 3, 3, and then you have 1 minute to go.
And the other question there was, can the negative emotions be linked to gratitude, like making a comparison? My point of view on that is that gratitude should not lead to further negative emotions. Gratitude is really about linking to something that you feel grateful for, a person, something they've done, or just a characteristic of them, they're kind or whatever it may be, or a situation you find yourself in. I'm very thankful that I have a warm house, or I have a roof over my head, whatever that may be. Mm-hmm. So I think when you move into comparisons, you probably have to pull your mind back a little bit and refocus on something that you are truly grateful for. Yeah.
And that's why the recommendation is to start with people you really love, where this gratitude comes some kind of naturally. Mm. If you have the feeling the gratitude is easy for you, then maybe move towards the end of the week to and pick persons you have a more neutral feeling. And if you have the feeling the gratitude is coming now up very easily in your heart, then you might try and pick a person you have problems with. But if it's not working, then switch during meditation back to a loved one. So this is a method we are using in a lot of meditations, also with Tonglen, that you start with people you love to get into the feeling, then you go to people you have a more neutral relationship with, and then if you have really a settled practice and you know exactly how you produce the feeling, then you can go on to people you might have trouble with, which I call I will explain that in Tonglen. Good.
All right. Any last questions just before we wrap up?
Yeah. The question is it normal that I start crying? To be honest, it's a good sign. Yeah, let it run. Let it run. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, it looks like that's the end of that. As I said before, you're very, very welcome to go ahead and send us more questions if you have them as the week goes on. I'm sure they'll pop up for you, or if you want to save them for next week and ask them, we'll create some space for you to do that as well.
Then have fun, and see you next Saturday.
Absolutely.
Same time. And please stick to your 10 minutes. I hope you have picked your time of the day. Maybe we close 10 seconds our eyes and we decide which time we want to meditate every day.
There you go. Wonderful, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are. We'll see you next week.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much.
See you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Have good meditations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.